Sul, hello, and Labus. We are starting today, the first day of the year 1331 at the Greystroke home. We're at the beautiful sunshine, hopefully saying that today is going to be a great day because we have two birthdays here today. One for Heath to an infant, so no roll. We don't have to worry about him or anything. And the other for little James, who's going to become a toddler today, which is very exciting. So here we are. Oh, is this spoiled? Okay. Well, Jefferson can go ahead and take care of that for us. Everyone's pretty happy here. Happy and doing pretty well. This little buddy is turning into an infant just in time for this little buddy to turn into a Todd. So everything's on its way. And Jefferson is going to age up in about 2 days. So we'll see him later this year for his, oh my gosh, for his child birthday. That's so wild. It doesn't even feel like we've had him that long. You know what I mean? Do we have a dirty diaper? No, go ahead and age up this baby if you don't mind. Dovile? Which way are we going? Okay, James is aged up to be inquisitive. Gonna be a little smarty pants, huh? He came out with the bowl cut. Oh my gosh, I love the bowl cut. It is my favorite. Come on, Heath. Get older. Oh. Meet new sibling. How does he feel about it? Happy? Heath is cautious, a safe move, and this time a safe move. Oh, he's got dark hair. Heath has got dark hair. Are you happy about it? Yes. Are you happy about it? You don't care. Okay, let's get these kids into cast and see how James' roll goes. So for James to make it to a toddler, he cannot roll the numbers 4, 8, 12, or 16. This first one doesn't count. And yes, he made it. He's totally fine. Okay, well, I guess we'll go ahead and leave these guys here because, you know, that's everything sorted for them, and we've got some stuff to do at the main household, so I'll see you when we get over to the main household. Oh, she's picking up her son. Kiss him for us, please, Dovile. Oh, baby. Okay, I'll see you when we get there. Okay, so here we are at the Payne holding. Today we are here because it's Harper's birthday for one, but also because we are, hey, congrats Harper. We're gonna go ahead and open the live-in store again. So we're starting with 65,786 simoleons, because we're at that point where pretty much everything's gotta go. You know what I mean? Oh, yes. Also, while we were away last episode, Winifred aged up. So she's a big horsey now. So I think Beatrice is going to get to live her dream of going out and horse riding. Oh, Graham, what a sad little buddy you are. Do you want to go ahead and try weeding these? Oh. And an egg is ready to hatch, so my friend, you can be in charge of that. Oh, and not only that, but also, okay, Heidi, do you mind cleaning everything up for us? Oh, nice work, Beatrice. Oh, I thought you were writing. Winifred even got a pretty okay for the time period saddle, so thanks, Winifred. Okay, let's just go for a relaxed ride. Nobody panic. Let's be chill. Let's be chill. Don't do it. I said clean this stuff up, please. Oh, you can't? What about now? Okie dokie. And not only that, I was going through their inventories to set other things for sale, and we found a golden egg, which we can exchange for money and get 3,400 simoleons. So of course we're gonna do that. Oh, but we don't tax those. No, we should. Okay, we'll exchange it for money. What are you doing with that kid? Put him down. Oh dear. Okay, you can lay there if you want to. That's fine. Thanks for buying our honey. Ah, yes, the crazy days of the surf farm. Thanks, Knox. That was really helpful. Oh, yeah. Do you see that money come flying in? Oh, man. We're like, why is this dirt? Oh, dang it. We're gonna go ahead and once you've done that, we're gonna change that diaper. Who's calling our Betty Esmond? Huxley! Oh, I'm glad that you're making friends, pal. What are you doing? Oh yeah, horse riding, duh. What are you doing? Being problematic? Please don't. You can put that in your inventory, I guess. Gross. Can you go ahead and gather some water? Can you also go ahead and gather some water? And you're gonna go fishing. I guess you can also go fishing. And you can also gather water and go fishing. Now go ahead and age up our baby, our youngest baby. Wee! Harper aged up to become a silly baby. Aw. Man, they have only, well, I guess Heidi and Esmond both are blondies, aren't they? Aw. 4-5. Yes. What a dream. Yeah, why don't you talk to your sister? Sing her a song, maybe reassure her. Hug lovingly. Beatrice, are you doing okay? Aw, Winifred's being so good. Thank you. Rogers purchased some nectar. I've got no idea how much it was. Are we all out here fishing? Fishing away? Good. Oh my gosh, Beatrice, you are the cutest. Uh-oh. I guess they aren't getting along over there. Oh, Beatrice. Beatrice looks terrified. Yikes. What are you two doing over here? Who is being mean to who? Just says you're talking. Did you do something? You're just babbling. Well, okay, whatever. Heidi, do you mind terribly going and potty training Harper? Because if there's one thing I don't want to deal with, it's babies with their dirty... Oh my goodness. Hey. Okay, Heidi, sorry. You've got to discipline Alice. That's really not okay. Discipline her. Please tell her you're disappointed in her behavior. And then after that, you can go and potty train Harper. Alice, you don't have to be mean. Go ahead and do your shapes and maybe, I don't know, play with your toy or whatever. Yep, Heidi's a strict mom. Can't blame the girl. Thank you, Jacob. So what does escaping serfdom entail or require? Well, first we have to save enough to pay off the land we were assigned to, which is property value, including all of our belongings. And you have to save enough to pay 3,000 for each member of your household to the Lord, which for us came to about 63,000. In addition, you have to become friends with the Lord in terms of how I've structured the challenge of getting out of serfdom. And you have to present him with an excellent or a rare gift, as well as the simoleons that you owe, right? So when I was researching Henry of Grosma, what I discovered is that he loved drinking. So I figure we can give him a nectar. That could be our excellent or rare gift. In addition, he loved rich food, so I figure we can give him a venison steak dish that comes with the Ye Olde Cookbook mod. And he also really loved salmon, apparently. So we can try and fish him a salmon to give him. And I feel like between those three things, that's enough for us to say, hey, thanks so much for your help in letting us out of serfdom. So that'll be good enough for me, I reckon. A fun fact, though, about buying your way out of serfdom is that the Earl owned everything you own. It doesn't matter if you built it, if you bought it, if you made it, your house, your clothes, all of these technically belong to the Earl. They weren't yours. And the Earl could, at any point in time, ask for them back, or I should say, demand for them back if he so chose. Because the Earl owns everything that their serfs own, that presents a pretty unique situation because technically the Earl also owns the money that we have. So, what people would have to do at the time is find a go between to be the one to hold on to their money and negotiate the release of themselves from serfdom. So, an example of when this went wrong and why we want to get an in between is when one serf tried to buy his way out of serfdom where he was working on land owned by the church. And the church member that was sort of in charge of the land said, "Yeah, great work, dude. You're totally free," and took the money. But once he'd done that, what happened was that he basically said, "Actually, that was my money anyways. You're not actually out of serfdom, but it was a nice try. Cute." And in the end, he essentially was kept in serfdom because he didn't have that go between as somebody to negotiate that for him. So my options that I was thinking about is we could either have Huxley do it since he's our old family friend and we can trust him. He technically is also at a serf level, but I feel like it's only fair, it's reasonable to say, oh yeah, he can go ahead and do it for us since he's out of our family, so we don't have to be as strict with him. Or we could also have Gree come over and visit with us to do it because Gree obviously is of a higher status. Also, Gree's son Adam is, as we know, half brothers with the king, and they've become like pretty decent friends recently. So I feel like it would be great if Gree could help them because Henry of Grosmont was also really close friends with Edward III. So she kind of could represent the idea of a go between these different sides of the family. And that would be kind of sweet and also be, I don't know, a nice way for Gree to be able to come home and see her family. You know what I mean? Because it's been a long time since she's last been here. And it would just be really nice if she could come back and see her family. In addition, it was, in fact, our buddy Graham who was voted for to be the winner of. Where are you, Graham? It was little Graham, this little guy, who was voted for to be the winner of the apprenticeship. But Beatrice was a pretty close second, and a lot of people wanted Beatrice to become a midwife. So I was thinking that Aba kind of represents something close to a midwife, and it wouldn't be unreasonable for. Can you go ahead and take care of these guys? It wouldn't be unreasonable for Gree to come and pick up Beatrice to go on an apprenticeship with Aba about midwifery because a lot of the time apprenticeships were between, people who were family members or family friends. That's who you would send your child to for an apprenticeship if you could. So I was thinking that we could do that as an approach as well. And that way, Beatrice could still go out on her own apprenticeship, but it would also be another reason why Gree would come over here. So that could be a pretty nice way of doing things. Also, it would give Beatrice a chance to be exposed to people who are kind of in higher levels of society, and that could be a way for her to be able to marry up in status as she gets older. Oh, you're talking to your brother? Oh, fair enough. I talk about the cool temperature and, I don't know, goof around. He's got a lot of mean feelings towards his brother. So yeah, let me know what you think about that because I think it's a pretty good idea, personally. If I can say so myself, I think it's a pretty good idea that we might, say that Gree comes over to help them buy their way out of serfdom. And while she's over, she goes ahead and, hey, nobody's here. She goes ahead and grabs Beatrice to take her back for an apprenticeship in midwifery. To make it more fair, I would say that what we could do is we could have Beatrice's family, the Payne family, pay about 5,000 simoleons, I was thinking, because apprenticeships were not super cheap. And so it wouldn't make that much sense for it to just be free, even though it's going, you know, she's going to their own family members. So that could be something we could do. And that way as well, it would be a way for us to continue challenging them as they're approaching escaping serfdom. That's kind of my thoughts. Let me know what you think, though, about that. Now, we do have to do Harper's makeover and roll, but I kind of got distracted by everything. Yes, that's so sweet. Can you please potty train Harper? He's headed towards you anyways. Beatrice, you seem like someone who needs to go to sleep, my dude. Did we happen to get a salmon today? I kind of feel like the answer is no. We do, though, oh my goodness, Harper hates being carried. We do, though, have an excellent quality grape nectar that I think that that's going to be the nectar that we give to Henry of Grosmont. I feel like that's going to be his nectar. So we've got that. If Beatrice were to move out, then without making the household any bigger, Heidi and Esmond could go ahead and have another baby. If we chose. They might not want to, though. They've already got 5. And I learned a really interesting thing about, you know, the number of children in peasant families recently, which is actually that they didn't have as many children as we often think that they did. Oh, yes. 3,780. That's Roger Mortimer. I was supposed to get rid of him, but he's still kicking around even though he's a goner in real life. Oh, that reminds me. There's not really any historical events that happen in England this year. There's the Scottish Wars of Independence going on, but I've got to draw the line somewhere with historical events, and since those aren't in Morbid's original challenge, I'm just going to leave those out. Where is everyone? Buy our things, guys. Buy our things. It's getting pretty late. It's almost the end of the first day. So we started off with 65,786 simoleons. We ended with 83,622 simoleons, which means that we made a profit of about 17,836 simoleons, which is crazy. We owe a tax of 5,351, but that still means that we're going to be left over with 78,271 simoleons. So we are in really good shape currently. So let's get Harper into cast to edit him, do his rolls, and then we'll move on to the next family that we'll see today. For Harper to survive to toddler, he cannot roll the numbers 4, 8, 12, or 16. This one doesn't count. It's from James, so... Yes, Harper also lives. Excellent. So our good buddy Harper is out here making a mess, but do you know what? He's totally fine. And on that note, we're going to go ahead and leave these guys here and head over to the Hagen holding where it is a triple birthday today. So I will see you when we get to the Hagens. Okay, we're here at the Hagen holding where I was mistaken. It is not a triple birthday, it is a quadruple birthday because we've got several Sims aging up. One, of course, is going to be no other than our girl Idas herself, who's aging up to young adult. Oh, Eric's coming to say hi. Yay! Adulthood, here we go. Freegan? No way, dude. Art lover? Vegetarian? I could kind of see her becoming vegetarian. Cringe? No. Neat? I don't know. None of these fit for her. I think that Idas is going to be outgoing because she is quite outgoing. And I think that she was the herbalist one, unless I'm very much mistaken. Go ahead and put those birthday candles on because it's not just Idas. It is also going to be little Ivor and Rollo, as well as the baby Signy. You go ahead and just wait there. Oh, can you please pick up your son actually instead of whatever you're doing currently? Pick him up and go ahead and come out here. We can all do this whole birthday thing together. Oh, cute. Go, Ivor, go. Wee! Ivor is inquisitive. How cute. Go ahead and add those birthday candles. Oh, she came out in pretty okay clothes for the time period. Thank you, Ivor, for working with us. Oh man, getting all kinds of gifts. And up next is our friend, her twin, Rollo. Go, Rollo, go. Oh my gosh, he has got such cute eyes. He's so startling. Oh, I guess Idas does too, doesn't she? Ooh, Rollo's fussy. Okay, well, it happens. Some babies are fussy. Oh, I guess we actually didn't need to put candles on that cake. Because the other one is the baby, Signy. Where are you? Oh, Aušra is in labor. We'll go over in just a second. Baby care, age up, Signy. Age up, Signy. Stop, stop, stop. Stop, stop, stop. Quick. Quick, baby. Come on. And Signy is also cautious. Okay, so for Idas, she cannot roll the numbers 6 or 14. The first one doesn't count. She's fine. What about for Ivor? She cannot roll the numbers 4, 8, 12, or 16. She's fine. And Rollo also cannot roll the numbers 4, 8, 12, or 16. Oh, good. And Signy doesn't have to roll at all because she's an infant, so that's totally fine. The Hagen household is happy, healthy, under control, and that is that. Now we better get over to Aušra's because she is having a baby. Oh my gosh, we've just loaded in, and this is the most Yaelu thing I can think. He's just sitting here about to use his parchment while Aušra is in labor. Okay, Aušra, let's get up here and have the baby. Now, while she's walking along and preparing herself for what's about to happen right now, I thought it was good to bring up that we talked about the idea about should Aušra have to do the pregnancy risk, given that I know when she's going to die based off of her teenage age up roll, and pretty much everyone said that they thought we should just give her a pass on the pregnancy risk, so she doesn't need to roll, just baby does when she has babies. Which means it would be a great time for triplets, Aušra. Oh, can you? Oh, already? A baby girl. Oh, cute. And Yaelu's last name is of Narva because according to my research, they said of such and such place rather than having surnames. And so that's kind of what I've gone for the idea of here. Give me a second to find a name. So I went with the name that I put there that I can't pronounce. The baby cannot roll the numbers 1, 5, 7, 10, 12, 15, 17, or 20. The first one doesn't count, so... Oh. Dang it! We lost the baby. Oh no, Aušra. Baby's not gonna make it. Oh no. So unfortunately, Aušra's baby isn't going to survive this. And that's really sad. Really, really sad. Oh man. Okay. Well, we'll let them say goodbye before we do the thing. Yaelu, why don't you go ahead and just work on, writing your chronicles. Well, while it might be good news at the Hagen household with their quadruple birthdays, it's not good news here, and they're about to lose their child. While we're here, I'm just going to bring up some historical events that happened in this area during 1331/1332. They didn't actually affect the Lithuanian family, so they're not going to have a conflict roll this year, but it does affect the area. So basically, what happened is Grandmaster Werner passed away last year when an assassin got him, who was a knight who might not have been emotionally stable. And so the new Grandmaster is Luther of Braunschweig, who takes over, and he was determined to press war on Ladislav at the expense of focusing on Lithuania, because he didn't want Lithuania slash Samogitian to have Ladislav as an ally and for them to be able to work together against the Order and Prussia's goals. So just for a quick refresh, we've got the Teutonic Order in control of Prussia, and Ladislav is trying to unite a fractured Poland under one rule, which will be his own. Mostly he's been pretty successful with this at the expense of pushing other Polish princes out of power. He's allied with Lithuania, also known as Samogitian, through marriage, through shared interests, and other factors. Now, the issue with Grandmaster Luther wanting to take on Ladislav is that the Poles were highly respected warriors, and Prussia could not take them on their own. So they enlisted the help of John of Bohemia, as well as forces from rebel Polish princes and mercenaries from Germany and Bohemia. Luther believed that destroying people and property was just as good a form of warfare as anything else, and told the massive assembled force that this is what they were to do, which they also were super excited about because they were being given papal indulgences for being, quote, on a crusade, even though it was largely a force of mercenaries. I'm sorry if you can hear that tinny sound in the background. That is rain pouring. It is absolutely pouring here. And it's hitting the metal railing outside and shaking the walls, if you can hear it. So if you can hear that, sorry, the weather outside is frightful. Of course, when this mercenary army was released with complete freedom to do whatever they want, it led to widespread reports of attacks against local people, including burnings, murders, kidnappings, and the other sort of stuff that typically happens during these kinds of periods of time. And later, this use of mercenaries disguised as crusaders would be a propaganda disaster for the Teutonic Knights, but at the time, it was pretty effective at terrorizing everyone. Not Ladislav, though, because Ladislav only cared about safekeeping his fighting force for the real battle and keeping his castles from being taken. So he hid with his forces while his son, Casimir, was in charge of defending the castles. And it was a successful strategy for them, even if the common people suffered terribly because of this. The armies were led by different people and sort of rampaged around until they decided, hey, let's join up and really take over. So it was decided that one force led by a guy named Marshal Dietrich, sorry, it's so distracting, the sound of the rain. So it was decided that one force led by Marshal Dietrich was meant to rendezvous with the force commanded by John of Bohemia, but John was late getting there. So Dietrich's forces slowly started to retreat, but decided that they wanted to plunder as they were going. So it was a real slow retreat. During this, John of Bohemia heard that they were retreating, so he took his forces and left, That was going to cause a problem for Dietrich because Casimir and Ladislav were following his retreat with their massive army, biding their time for when they could do the most damage and be most successful against them. Eventually, the, quote, crusading force broke into 3 divisions, and Casimir and Ladislav seized the moment to sweep upon the weakest of them at Ploutz. I couldn't figure out how to say that, and I looked online for a while, but it seems like all the pronunciations that I could find were for English pronunciations, and I don't think that that's true. When their forces came head to head, Dietrich of the Order broke his army into 5 units, and Ladislav basically copied that, did the same. The 2 armies slammed into each other in the kind of bloody, gruesome, thousands of men against thousands of men kind of battle we always think of with medieval battles. It was grisly and it was awful. At some point, the Crusaders were discombobulated, possibly due to the Polish knights who had originally been on their side, changing sides during the battle, and Ladislav won. 56 knights were captured, but Ladislav had received reports that the other two divisions that had broken from the main force were on their way towards him, and so he had all except for a few very high-rank individuals stripped naked and killed. By the afternoon, one division had made it back, and the Polish forces were already exhausted from their earlier battle, at which point 600 men were captured in the fighting. The Polish prisoners were freed, and when Marshal Dietrich saw the naked bodies of his men, he wept and told his men to kill all 600 prisoners that they'd captured. The Prussians, by the way, asked him not to do it because they wanted to use these prisoners to exchange for prisoners of their own, but Dietrich said God would give them some more prisoners, so don't really worry about it right now. Marshal Dietrich was right. They did capture another 100 prisoners that day, but Ladislav and Casimir both ended up escaping because they knew that if they were taken prisoner, that would be the end of their campaign. It was such a bloody conflict that the dead, which were counted at 4,187 when all was said and done, had to be buried in mass graves. But Grandmaster Luther hadn't had enough, and by Easter of 1332, he'd gathered another massive force of knights, crusaders from all over, including England, and a shirt ton of mercenaries, and started capturing fortress after fortress until he had all of northern Kuhavia. At that point, Ladislav had to sue for a truce through mid-1333, but he would be dead by that point. So we'll leave the history of Lithuania, Poland there for now. Aušra seems like she's kind of bouncing back. It's strange in this challenge because each day is about 3 months, so even a couple of hours would be a couple more months, but oh, that was nice of him. He got her plate. Oh, that's sweet. But yeah, bad news here at the Narva house. Aušra and Yelu lost their first child, which is really sad, and there's nothing we can do about it. I'm really tempted for them to get going straight away with their next children because of what I know to be true. But yeah, it's kind of a gloomy day here with bad news from this family, and so I think we might go ahead and leave this day here. I hope that you've enjoyed this part. I'm sorry we lost Aušra's first baby, and let me know what you think in the comments below. And I'll see you in the second half of 1331. Bye-bye, everyone.